Our next speaker is Dr. Parth Rana, who's the director, Netralaya Super Specialty Eye Hospital, and is specialized in VR surgery and ocular trauma with great skill sets. And he is going to be talking on capillary hemangioma. On to you, doctor.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you share your screen?
Yes, ma'am. Just a sec. Yeah. Is it visible?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Very good evening, everyone. Thank you, ma'am, Chitra ma'am, and Srinivasa for giving me this opportunity. So today I'm going to talk on challenging case of retinal capillary hemangioma with RD with PVR. This patient was a young chap, 21-year-old, and he had bilateral capillary hemangiomas, and right eye he had retinal detachment with PVR and 5 capillary hemangiomas in right eye with the pre-op vision of PL, and left eye there were 5 capillary hemangioma lesions which we treated with cryo, and right eye we decided to operate the patient. So the patient had a kind of tabletop PVR was there. Retina was totally stiff. There was no mobility at the retina, and there were huge hemangiomas with feeding vessels. As you all can see here, there was not at all any mobility there. There were star folds. These folds were quite stiff. We tried removing vitreous quite near to this angiomas. These angiomas are quite difficult while removing vitreous. Sometimes if we touch it, it starts bleeding, and if bleeding is there, the visibility will go off, and whatever chances this chap is having can go. Here we are removing vitreous quite near to this feeding vessel. That was also kind of difficult. Here, this membranes, if we see, these membranes were quite difficult. No, it's not like normal PVR what we do. This membranes, if we need to see if it's connected anywhere to the vessel, because in normal PVR we can pull off, it can just tear the retina, there won't be much of the issues. But if here, if any feeding vessels, if that is torn off, then there'll be like huge bleeding will be there. So we started removing membranes with cutter first. We stained them with, first with the tricot and then with BBG dye. Whatever membranes we could remove with the cutter, we could pull off with the cutter. We did with the cutter, and then we tried what all the membranes. Tried to remove membranes with the scraper, with the diamond scraper. This membranes were pulled off, and whatever membranes we could find it, we just pulled it from there, and finally, with this end grasping forceps, we pulled the membranes. Finally, this retina started to move. Here we can see this retina is mobile. It was a little bit mobile. Then we started doing SRF drainage. When we were doing this SRF drainage, we can see this retina is falling over to its place. During this drainage, we went quite near to the this one capillary hemangioma. This hole was pre-existent, and during this drainage, accidentally this capillary hemangioma came into the port.
1 minute remaining.
Yeah, luckily there was no bleeding there. We increased the IOP, and finally we cauterized the area also, and there was not much of the bleeding there, luckily. And after finally settling the retina, we did put silicone oil, and we did laser this all this capillary angiomas, and we cryoed them also. Finally, in post-op, patient had 360 vision, so that was quite good than expected. Thank you.
A very challenging surgery. It was very interesting for an anterior segment surgeon, especially. And I would look forward to Dr. Hemant Murthy's discussion.
Thank you, Dr. Parth. I know it's a very challenging case and you handled it very well. But I think, yeah, there have been a lot of reports now on doing endo resection of all these angiomas when you do retinal surgery. So in a detachment, you can just cauterize the feeder and the draining vessel and take endoresect these angiomas. So there have been a lot of case reports and currently in which they are doing these endoresections of these angiomas as a management of retinal capillary angiomas. So this is I think you found out that it works very well. When you resected it, it did excellently well. So I think you found out that it works well. So this has been done now. And I think you handled it well. I know it's always a challenge because there was PVR also. So yes. I think you've taken all the measures. It was a rhegmatogenous detachment along with the angiomas, or was it because see, there are two ways that a detachment can occur. One would be an exudative cause and one would be a rhegmatogenous cause. This must have been a rhegmatogenous detachment, right?
Because yes, it was rhegmatogenous. Yes, there was pre-existing hole below this capillary angioma. So we didn't find any exudative component there.
Okay. And you investigated the CNS for ruling out all other, because
yes,
VHL as a component of VHL.
Yes, sir. We did investigated everything, and then finally, actually, we didn't plan to do right eye. We were just planning for left eye only, but that chap was asking, and we tried. We gave nil prognosis, and we tried. Luckily, he got the vision back, and still 360 is maintaining.
One tip that I could always tell people is that when you do treat these angiomas, always do a fluorescein angiography. Because what you would see on fluorescein would be a lot more than what is clinically apparent. You would see a lot more small angiomas which are not clinically apparent. So when you treat, try to do a fluorescein angiography, find the feeder vessels, treat it, and treat all these small angiomas, because that will give you the good result.
Basically more in attached retina, no, sir.
That is in an attached retina. It was the other eye had angiomas, no? So
correct.
When you do as a tip, no, for all these angiomas, when they come to you, do a fluorescein. Clinically, what you see would probably be very less than what is apparent on fluorescein angiography.
I have also seen some of the authors trying to ligate these kind of feeder vessels, but I still wonder, the expert panel, Hemant sir can answer this. When we have such a strong, powerful cauteries now available, with a 25 and 27 gauge, and it can do such a, but why people have tried to use the suture, they try to do it in case if they puncture it, the whole purpose is defeated. What's the actual need of ligation when we have a good cauteries nowadays?
No, I agree, because I know that, see, what he found was very true. You can do an endoresection. You need to just cauterize the feeder vessel first, and then you resect it out. You have to.
One thing is, these are not capillaries to cauterize. They are large vessels with a high volume flow. I don't think cautery is a solution to stop the bleeding. And if you cauterize, you might actually induce bleeding. You can create a hole in the vessel, and that can go on bleeding. And once the bleeding starts, you lose sight of the vessel itself. I think cautery is not a good idea for such large vessels. For capillaries, for the diabetic retinopathy type of bleeding, I think cautery is okay. But for these large vessels, I think we need to ligate.
Just few days ago only, we had one more case like this, and retina was attached in that, and just 2 capillary angiomas were there. And we tried to laser just around this feeder vessel, and there was an extensive laser there. And this angioma regressed after that. So even this laser, if we are doing extensive laser surrounding this feeder vessel, that also works in some of the cases. So because that was quite posterior, so we couldn't go with cryo, but we went ahead with just this green laser and went on good.
No, actually, you could possibly close them, because I know now there have been a lot of surgeries which have been done with endoresection and cauterization of this. So I think the reports show that it works. I've never tried it out, but now you yourself have shown a video in which it seems to work very well. So I don't know whether there was a real need.
One more point is adding up the laser to the feeder vessel also helps a lot. You just need to add increase the duration or a little more than your routine laser, like keeping a duration of 150 or 200, and giving a burn over continuously giving up the burn over the feeder muscle helps up in reducing the size of the image.
Thank you very much. I think we shall go on. And our next speaker, that was a great presentation, Dr. Parth Rana.